Okay, so tonight's shir is Aveilut 2. I picked, there were two topics that stood out to me. I don't know if people got to these parts of the learning. One of them was the question about Talmud Torah on Shabbos. It was an interesting discussion of whether or not you're allowed to learn on Shabbos. So language, first of all, the background is, on Shabbos there is no Aveilut on Shabbos. Typically the only thing that we have on Shabbos is Devarim Shebetzina, anything which is done privately. So the Shulchan Aruch writes, the Talmud Torah havi Darchei B'tzina. The Talmud Torah learning is considered Darchei B'tzina. Implication is that it's forbidden. Avalachzor haparsha, but to do Shnai Mikra, he says doing like the regular routine of Shnai Mikra, which you have an obligation to do. So then it's not necessarily. How can prevent you from doing it? So the Shulchan Aruch paskins that doing Shnai Mikra is okay. First of all, the backtrack and remembers there's a chiyuv to be maver sedra, to go over the parsha. There's a discussion here on whether this Shulchan Aruch would extend to Rashi. Most debate whether it would extend to Rashi. Most Rishonim say on a regular day, on a good day, so you can do Rashi instead of Unklis if you don't understand Unklis. But even in Aveilut, the same discussion exists, whether or not during Aveilut you can do with Rashi. But at least to be Maver Sedra, definitely the Shulchan Aruch says it's okay. So, we know we have a principle. This I found in the Aruch HaShulchan. The Aruch HaShulchan says in general, we have a principle that we're not allowed to do anything which is going to look like Aveilut on Shabbos. In fact, the Shulchan Aruch says that in the same simon, Sif, talking about Talmud Torah, that if you were called up for an aliyah, what if the Gabbai forgets that you're in Aveilut, or doesn't know the halacha that Abba can't get an aliyah, and calls you up? So you're allowed to go get the aliyah. Because if you're not to go up to get the aliyah, so then you are being knowing Aveilut before Hesed. You're observing Aveilut in public. Furthermore, the Shulchan Aruch says, if you're the Kohen, let's say you're the only Kohen in town. Granted, maybe you should try to excuse yourself, maybe walk out before that Kohen aliyah, so you're not in this situation. But if you're a Kohen, you're the only Kohen, and you're not Aveilut, you're allowed to get that aliyah. Because again, it would be strange not to call you up as the Kohen during your Aveilut, and if you were to not get that aliyah, then it would be you would be knowing even Aveilut on Shabbos, which we don't do.
So what do you do in a shul where they hand you a card at the beginning, and you can say no?
So I think you should say no. Meaning, during Shiva, the Kohen is not. Ideally, we consider getting aliyah as a form of Talmud Torah, and so you would probably say no. If you're the only Kohen, that's a shiloh. Meaning, probably halachically ideal would be to then say no, and then you wouldn't want to be there for the aliyah, or at least for when they call up the person. You could kind of casually walk in midway through the aliyah. You should be there for at least the yamod in the beginning. But really, you should start till after they start the aliyah itself. Okay? So the Aruch HaShulchan says as follows. The reason why we say Dvarim Shebetzina you can observe is because it's not in the public eye, so it's not going to be a desecration of Shabbos, and usually there's no Isser involved when I don't put on makeup or I don't have Pasha B'ita. There's no Isser that's involved. But the Aruch HaShulchan says, the Wachi of Talmud Torah every day, it's fascinating logic, it says, Wachi of Talmud Torah every day, he brings the Gemara says, Kabat Itim Torah, and we know, if you're going to tell me you're going to be Yotzei by learning Tzurba M'Rabanan, you're going to learn Hilchos Aveilut, or the negative parts of the Torah, then on Shabbos you have a special commandment of owning Shabbos. You're not going to enjoy your Shabbos if you're learning on Shabbos Hilchos Aveilut. So, in essence, Aruch HaShulchan says that there is a big machlokas whether or not it's true that there's an Isser Talmud Torah on Shabbos as well. Because there are enough poskim that say you should not learn on Shabbos, the difference those poskim we typically don't learn on Shabbos, except for, he says, B'maver Sedra, which is a chiyuv. He says it's more like Kriya Shema. It's like more like tefillah. You're just reading parshas of the Torah like davening, so then it's okay. Then he goes on to say, here's where it gets very interesting. For someone who, let's say, has a regular shiur, this came up by someone's Aveilut a couple of weeks ago. Someone gives a chabura in town. They're the regular guy. Or they go to a shiur every single week. They haven't missed a shiur in years. Perhaps they're not going to the shiur is now being knowing Aveilut on Shabbos. So Aruch HaShulchan writes, he says, first of all he says, "V'chein ra'iti le'echad me'agdolim shekatav, mi sheraga lila b'chol yom ches yud prakim mishnayos." If a person does a daily limud, every day they do 18 prakim mishnayos, yachal lilmud otam gam b'Shabbos, he's even allowed to learn those on Shabbos of his Aveilus, Shemnei Avlo, u'fizeh yesh lo shir kavua, lilmud gemara poskim gam ki yachal lilmud b'oto Shabbos. Says that let's say you have a set shear, you would be allowed to go to the shear because it's for you. It's like your daily dose. So maybe not going is new Aveilus. Then Rabbi Lomo b'Shabbos Seder Parsh Peirush Rashi gam ki yuchal Lomo. So Rabbi Yochanan says we could even do Rashi. It's a fascinating thing. I always thought that no, on Shabbos you're not supposed to learn Torah Shem Tzina, so you can, Ma'aver Sedra is one thing, but I never knew that you could do more than just do Ma'aver Sedra. And Aruch HaShulchan quotes this idea that one, if there's a regular shear, one could give it. Now, if you don't go every week anyway, so then it's not the time to say, oh, I'm going to stay close to shear. Not trying to say you have to go to shear that week. But if you're someone who never misses, and the only reason you're not going once in a blue is in a million years because you're Aveilus, that might be being going the other point, that's one halacha nekuda. Another thing I thought was interesting that I never knew before, or I learned more of the sugya of the Ian, is the question about shir ga'ara. So when it comes to shaving, taking haircuts, Shulchan tells us is that the Rama says that shir ga'ara is 3 months. We know that for a regular non-parent, so you only observe veils for 30 days. For a parent, one that doesn't take haircuts or shave till ad shigar bo chaveru, which the posted explained is a function of, or Moshe actually writes this, it's a function of, we don't want you to become in solitude for too long. Shigar bo chaveru is like, at some point your friends are not going to want to be with you, you look so unkempt. Once you reach this point of ge'ara, shir gar, that you're really unkempt, your friends say, you don't really want to get with you, you look like the Unabomber. So at that point, you're actually allowed, that's the critical litmus test of when you're allowed to shave, take a haircut. So the poskim say, and the Ramah says, shir gar is 3 months. But we also know that if your friend after 30 days does gior, it says you look unkempt, so you're allowed to take a haircut and shave. So what do we mean that we say shir gara is 3 months? There's a whole discussion on this Ramah. What did the Ramah mean by saying the shir gara is 3 months? If we know that, we saw it in one of the sources that said that after 30 days someone tells you look unkempt, so you could take the hair, you could shave. So there are a few different approaches that I saw in the poskim, from more mekel to more machmer. Essentially, Darchei Yosef says that the Ramah was just establishing a case where no one says anything. If no one says anything, then a stam shear is 3 months. But if your wife or your best friend tells you look like a Unabomber, then already it's actually on day 30 already. On day 30, you could already shave or take a haircut at that point. So that's one of the more mekel approaches. The Piskei Tshuva has another idea. He says, what did the Rambam mean? It's the first time I realized there's a discussion in poskim. Everyone knows, I think this halacha, that after 30 days, have your best friend, have your wife tell you that you look unkempt, and then you can shave. But what happens after that? Do we now revert back to, okay, you're no longer in Aveilus, or you treat yourself like normal, and now you just shave and take haircuts as you wish? Or do you need to keep every time you need to shave or have a haircut, you need to wait ad shigar bo chaveru? So there are different opinions on the matter. From the more mekel approach, the Piskei Tshuva seems to say, quoting this Sefer Adnei Paz, that what he meant by after 3 months, shir gar means after 3 months you now can do resume your regularly scheduled haircut shaving schedule, but within 3 months you still need to be waiting till you get to an unkempt point. Rav Moshe takes it to the full extreme. Rav Moshe writes, again, I never see his Rosh inside. Rav Moshe says, for the whole 12 years, you always need to be waiting, 12 months, you always need to be waiting shir ga'ara, which means it could be after a month, you look unkempt, and then someone could tell you. But don't just assume, I think this is a big misconception. I think many people, they wait that first time after a month, and then, that's it. Now they're shaving, they're taking haircuts regularly. Ramosha writes that one should really wait Shir Ga'ara throughout the entire 12 months. So what's Shir Ga'ara? See, so so what do you do with it? So Ramosha writes it really is subjective. Is what one should try to do is go double what they usually would do for that thing. So if it's shaving, we just double it, which could be, I usually shave every day, now I shave every 2 days. If it's taking a haircut, I usually take a haircut, Ramosha writes, every 4 to 6 weeks. So he says, the Ramah, when he said 3 months, was actually giving us the notion of double it. Because a typical person, Ramosha writes, gets a haircut about every 4 to 6 weeks. And so during the year of Aveilut, one should take a haircut approximately every 3 months. But he also, because it's subjective according to the poskim, Ga'ara is subjective, so for shaving, which usually is the thing which bothers people the most, taking a haircut isn't as pressing, so then you could do every 2-3 days as opposed to every day if you're someone who shaves every day. And irregardless of the discussion, which I think is fascinating just to know that there is an element of trying to elongate how often you shave throughout and take haircuts throughout the first year, I think it's also important to say, even Ramosha writes if there's a tzorah, if you have an important meeting, if there's it's needed for your job, for professionalism, if there's a tzorah, so then you can rely on the more Meiko Shito, which say, again, after that first time, right, you're good to go. But if one doesn't have a tzorah, so then one should still be cognizant of how often they're shaving or taking haircuts, ideally throughout the entire first year. Okay, so we'll stop here with 2 interesting discussions, one on Talmud Torah and Shabbos, another on the concept of Shir Ga'ara, taking haircuts during Yud Beis Chodesh.